Welcome back. The Mount Vernon Independent Film Festival is back for its second year, continuing to build on its mission celebrating cinematic artistry and uplifting emerging filmmakers. Known for showcasing diverse voices from Mount Vernon and surrounding areas, the festival creates a platform where creators can share their stories and connect with the community. This year's festival will take place June 12th through June 13th, bringing audiences another exciting lineup of independent films. Join us now to talk more about the festival and how you can get involved is festival founder and filmmaker, Bryan Ribeiro. Thank you so much, Bryan, for joining us. Tell us about the film festival that's going down.
I'll start from the beginning. I'm a filmmaker. I come at it from a creative standpoint, and yeah, Mount Vernon needed a film festival. We have a lot of creatives and artists and filmmakers, people who've become friends of mine, people who are still undiscovered, and we needed a location to celebrate that.
And besides, uplifting emerging filmmakers, what inspired you to create the Mount Vernon Independent Film Festival?
Yeah, there used to be a film festival in town, and then for whatever reason, it's just not there anymore. And a friend of mine suggested, why don't you try and essentially resurrect it? And at first I wasn't too sure just because it is a lot to handle. But after thinking about it, film festivals themselves are not, after experiencing it for the first year, aren't too dissimilar from filmmaking itself. It's a very collaborative effort. You have to create a coalition to watch these films, to create panels that celebrate film, ascertain what films can get awards. And like a film set, there's departments that you have to liaison between, especially as the director in that sense of it, and make sure that this vision gets created. And I've always seen filmmaking as akin to being in a boat that's already sinking. So the water is already coming up. You just have to get enough people working together to just scoop up enough water to get to like the island before you inevitably drown.
And I like that you brought up how it's a collaborative effort because, how hard is it like gathering people, gathering crew really, especially when you're independent, when you don't have major networks backing you up, such as like Netflix and things like that on major streaming apps. How hard is it to get like the camera crew, the director, the producer? Speak about that.
On a filmmaking set or in the film festival?
The filmmaking.
It was helpful that I went to school and met a ton of folks, and I've helped other people make films. So you organically create a network in that way. And with this film festival especially, I've kind of incidentally made more of a filmmaking group than I ever had before. We had a ton of filmmakers come in, and we had a ton of folks who had specializations that I never knew about in a way that were very specific to them. And now I can contact them for a film that I want to produce or a film I want to try and write and direct. And I know who to call. So I've always had filmmaker friends around me to lift me up, and then vice versa, lift them up and make sure that their visions came unfold.
Nice. I know most film festivals or events like these, they'll come with like kind of like a competition in a way. Like, do you guys do like a certain theme to your movies? Is it like a horror theme, or is it just come show your creativity?
Our first year, our theme was just short films because we were sort of figuring things out and we didn't have all of the infrastructure there. And now in our second year, it's shorts and features, but in terms of genre, it's open. It's horror, it's documentary, it's vertical, it's experimental. We had a film that was submitted that was 2 minutes long, and we had another film that was submitted that was 3 hours long. Wow. So we are watching all of these films with our team and trying to ascertain what quality of the film is it trying to speak on, and how do we want this to be shown in our festival. Is it good? Does it have production value? And even if it doesn't have production value or the highest end camera like a Red or an Ari, does it speak on something so unique that it has to be in the film festival?
So when you guys are judging these films, are you guys judging based on, of course, it's the whole aspect of it, the whole outcome of it, but what are some things that stick out to you that's like, oh, okay, that was good or that was unique? Is it the acting? Is it the film, the filmography? Is it, you know, just the setting of it? Like, what is the overall thing that you look for?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. Some of the screeners go on vibes, but for me personally, I like to compartmentalize films because film is writing, it's production value. For example, this set, like what does this set and this color scheme do for the audience? That's what I mean by production value. It's the camera and the blocking, how a character, if they are isolated, let's put them farther away from the camera so that the audience feels something like that. It's sort of these very intentional choices made by the director or the team around the director to try and tell the story that I sort of look for in different avenues. Cinematography, writing, acting, editing, that's my background, so I have a very special keen interest for that, and sort of overall direction and the plot and the characters. So there's a lot that goes into it.
Nice. And what's the time frame look like to submit for the film festival?
Yeah, our deadline is April 13th, and then the actual event is June 12th and 13th. So we have a little bit of time. It's about 3 weeks, I would say. And a lot of people make sure that their films are in tip-top shape right before. So there's a huge flood that comes in right in that last week. And even then, we try to know about as many filmmakers in Mount Vernon, in the Bronx, in Westchester, in New York, and in foreign areas as possible because some may not be able to submit in time. But let us know. We're open. We're still trying to get a coalition built with this film festival, and we're open to any kind of dialogue.
And when it comes to submission, right? You guys get flooded. How many films do you guys pick out, and what films, like, what do you see that doesn't make the cut? Like, what makes a film not worthy of being in the film festival?
Films are subjective. I think some films are better to people than others. I think it's usually having the basics covered. It's just making sure, like, hey, the people are mic'd up and the camera isn't overexposed on, you know, the windows behind. So usually those will get dismissed pretty early. And then really the difficult ones are in the categories where they may not have as much of a budget, but they are trying to tell something unique. Those are the more difficult ones because those hover in an area where you can tell that they're trying to say something and maybe the message gets a little muddled and maybe even the technicals don't work, but how much leeway do you have? And a big issue is also length. So we only have so much time. We're only a 2-day festival, so we can't have that many features. We're planning it in a way that maybe we'll have 2 features a day, so that only leaves 4. And in terms of shorts, we're not sure how many there are going to be because one short could be 25 minutes and another short can be 5 minutes. So really, and this goes out to my partner, Dominique DeLeon, who's the head of programming, she is the one that sort of gets all these puzzle pieces of a film schedule together and tries to make sure they fit in a 1.5 hour or 2 hour block. So it's difficult to say a specific number.
Okay, and when it comes to that, do you guys like maybe when you guys, so if I sign up for it, are there like pre-qualifications that I have to go through, like where it says, oh, you must use a Sony FX3 camera, or can you use like your iPhone and things like that? Do you guys like kind of a little hesitant about that?
No, we can.
Okay.
We've seen AI films. We've seen films on the phone. We've seen films on ARRI and RED camera packages. It's just really a story can be told in any way, I think, regardless of the gear that's involved, regardless of the technicals, because really the heart of what we're trying to do at the Mount Vernon Independent Film Festival is to just get people back to a theater space. Our theater holds 1,278 seats. It's hosted at the Denzel Washington School of Arts, and we want to try and bring people back into this communal space, not too dissimilar from being around a bonfire and somebody telling a story. Same sort of like intimacy and empathy that comes out of, I think, experiencing a story collectively.
And as an independent filmmaker yourself, why is it important that we support other filmmakers, especially here in the Bronx, you know, underserved communities? Why is that important?
There's so many reasons why. I think the more underserved, the more potential there is for a story to be told on a level that isn't clinical, that is told from the ground up, from people who have gone through whatever that they've gone through, and create again that empathy. Because I think we live in such an age where it's very easy to just look at something and kind of dismiss it, whether it's on the phone or social media or whatever the case is. But to be dedicated to a space, from being in a theater and experiencing a story told from somebody who's really putting it out there. When a director is telling a story through film, it takes months to make it, and their heart is really put on the line when they're that sort of condition. So that will be felt, I think, by most people in an audience setting, or maybe even in a phone setting. But it's so much more impactful when you have an AV system, and the music is there, and you can see this figure who's, let's say, going through something, and you see it inside of the screen. There's a powerful, weird, surrealist effect that has on you that creates a deep level of understanding.
Nice. So, okay, what can attendees expect from the film festival? You know, if I'm coming through, you know, I want some popcorn, I want some candy or something. You know, what is it? What's the lineup? Like, what's the time frame? You know, how long is it, and things like that? And give us the location again.
Yeah, it's at the Denzel School of the Arts in Mount Vernon, South 4th. And we have snacks. We will have local businesses come in and also sell their wares. We had a cafe come up last year selling swag, and that was really cool. And yeah, once you come in, you were sort of ushered into the into the theater auditorium to watch some films, come out, network, and you get the really chance to meet other filmmakers, talk shop. That's a big reason why we do this, is so that you have the chance to network with a lot of people who are in and outside of Mount Vernon, Bronx, Yonkers, that sort of small pocket of areas. And yeah, connect. We will also have panels there for people.
Nice.
We're going to announce those as we get closer to the actual date itself. But last year we had a panel on women of color who are producers. We had one on stunts. So it was just these big guys talking about how they fall down.
Wow.
And we had one about Mount Vernon filmmakers, and we had one about, it escapes me, but we will have panels dedicated to that, and we will have an award ceremony. I love the pomp and circumstance of it. We'll dress up and we give out a ton of awards. And these are physical trophies, not like, you know, certificates or anything like that. We want to make sure that the filmmakers get rewarded for their efforts.
Well, thank you so much, Bryan. I hope to be there myself.
Yeah.
For more information, you could visit the website at mountvernoниff.com. Stick around, we'll be right back.